Welcome to the exciting world of the movies.
Hey, buddy. That's right. We're going back to the 90s. We're going to give you some excitement here on the movie Graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, are we going to take them back to the time when the Stone Age met the Rock Age?
The fucking Stone Age, baby. We're not doing that movie. We're doing Encino Man, one of the most Kino fucking movies ever made.
Very Kino.
So much Kino cuisino going on. And the true Kino files, my boy was saying, they eat kids' cuisine. And when you fucking mix that kids' cuisine with fucking Kino, we're calling it Kino cuisino. We're calling it Kino cuisino.
Exactly. Chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese, and then like that little, what was that little square that always had like a burn ass brownie baked into it? Remember that shit?
Fucking that shit that you tried to bake that brownie, it always came out like fucking fucking melted like pudding. It was like pudding, baby. Fucking but it was always good. I always ate it anyway.
Oh, it was good. Like the top like quarter inch of it was like a brownie. Exactly. The inside was like pudding.
Exactly. That pudding gets that skin on it. Fucking it's like that. Gets that skin on it.
Okay, so grab your DVDs, grab your digital streams. Don't grab your Blu-rays because they don't exist.
Fucking Disney sucks.
Not even in Germany.
Fucking why has our boys and fucking what do they call themselves? Fucking the fucking Kino Cuisino, if you will, fucking Blu-ray releasing, fucking Criterion. Why haven't they picked this up?
Yeah.
What are they waiting for?
Apparently, they're very low T because, first of all, they let the name Kino get stolen from them.
They did.
So then they had to settle for Criterion, and then they dropped the ball by not putting out Encino Man.
We need to make the superior version Christ tier, and it's just gonna be the Christ logo. We're gonna put out the shit they don't want to put out. Like we're the true concrete cocks.
We'll do it 3 words: Christ, era, in, because we are in the era of Christ.
Exactly.
Very based. So grab your remotes. I have it paused at the 10-second mark, and what you'll be seeing at the 10-second mark on the digital stream and hopefully on the DVD as well is it's a little... I missed this logo, Zach. This was a very fond logo in my childhood because I saw it in front of lots of awesome movies.
Exactly.
A film studio called Hollywood Pictures that Disney has killed because they are very low T, and we'll get into Disney low T-ness later.
Yeah.
But so the Sphinx logo...
So good.
And it says Hollywood Pictures. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go. And when you hear me say the word go, hit play on your keyboards or your Apple TV 4K remotes. You ready, Zach?
Hell yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
You know what I was just thinking of?
What?
I was just thinking about how in between the paws of all those little slats in that logo, you could put your boner dick there and it would fit perfectly. You could just put them.
Oh, you think so?
Put them through all of those slats. And fucking just like kind of massage up and down. Fucking, that's the way to fucking foreplay with that logo if I was gonna have sex with it.
What do you mean if?
Exactly. Fucking, who directed this movie? Les. It just showed it said Les something.
Les Claypool from
That's
Primus.
what I was thinking. This movie would have been better if they would
going down to South Park, gonna have a real good time. Brendan Fraser.
They hired the wrong Les. Megan fucking Ward. I bow. Yes, queen. Yes. She did 3 movies that I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe 4, but I forget one. She did fucking Joe's Apartment. Played the Stacy girlfriend to the main character Joe. She played in this movie. She plays the Stacy girlfriend to the main character Link. Or Sean Astin, I guess, which is kind of clumsy. We'll get to that. And the way it pans out, she kind of tells him that she's not into him. She acts like she's not into him through the whole movie. But then at the end, she's like, I want to go with Link. But then, like, some shit happens where they find out Link's a caveman. And then she's like, okay, I guess we can fuck now. I guess I'll settle.
All of a sudden, you're not cringe anymore. Which, by the way, I said I would point out every chance I could how low T Disney is. We were 5 seconds into this film, Zach, and the Disney showed their low T hand really early. before anything really came on, it was just a special caption came on because I had the subtitles on. It said closed captioning made possible by Buena Vista Television Services. Now, it's like, okay, like if you're a hard of hearing person and you acquire this movie and you pay your money, are you supposed to bow down to Disney for giving you subtitles so you could watch the movie? Like, isn't that like just the most bare minimum they could have done? Like, did we have to really thank them or give them credit or a pat on the back for that?
It is the bare minimum. That's so funny. It's funny too because sometimes I'll watch. I'm kind of one of those guys. It's like I feel more comfortable watching movies with the subtitles on because I feel like I don't want to miss anything, and I feel like whenever I don't know, like I feel like, yeah, I just for some reason it adds a layer of comfort. I don't need it, but I prefer it. But like, yeah, sometimes I notice nowadays they'll actually put ads. Like extra ads in the subtitles.
Really?
Like we want to sell more.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Like what the fuck? Like they'll just put like brackets and they'll say, advertise here on fucking call right now. And it's like fucking. Why do you do that? Why would you do that? Fucking. We're gonna hit the deaf with even more ad. They gotta consume even more. Hell yeah. Whatever though. I don't really care. I'm just. At the end of the day, it is bad.
We need to get you a YouTube channel. You're like those guys on YouTube who are fighting the culture war, and they make a video about everything that pisses them off.
I was just gonna, because there's that new Pauly Shore joint coming out, that Pinocchio. It's crazy because there's like 3 different Pinocchio things coming out at the same time.
I know. Why did we go 80 years in between Pinocchios and now we get them all at once?
Exactly. So out of nowhere, it was trending on Twitter that Pauly Shore had a new Pinocchio movie come out. I thought Pauly Shore is in that new movie that Guillermo del Toro is doing about Pinocchio. Yeah. Because there's one like
That's what I thought too.
There's one from Guillermo del Toro being worked on. And then there's one coming out from Disney, which has Tom Hanks plays Geppetto, and that's a thing. And then fucking this one, and this one I watched the trailer for, and it's our boy right here who's showing up on screen now, Pauly Shore, sir.
Sir, Pauly Shore, we love you.
Paul Montgomery Shore, his whole name. Fucking a king was born, and one day fucking we need the Pauly Shore renaissance that I believe will happen one day. I think it's coming.
Yeah. When he hits 60, we'll get it finally.
Quentin Tarantino just needs to cast him in the right role, I think.
Could you imagine if Pauly Shore would have played Charles Manson in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
God, the cum. I would came so fucking all over myself.
Like even with the movie theaters being closed at some places for like 8-9 months during the pandemic, they still would have been shipping it off the walls.
Mm-hmm. So basically, for anybody not watching along with us, we're meeting our main characters here. We're seeing they live in the suburbs in Encino, California, and they're just hanging out. Basically, our boy Sean Astin is digging a big hole. Isn't that funny that he's digging that big ass hole with just that shovel? Like he didn't get any fucking body to come in, use a truck. How long do you think that'd take using that shovel?
It's like, like what's his family, man? Like slave labor. They make the 16-year-old son dig the pool himself with like no explanation, by the way, just zero explanation why he has to do this. There's giant boulders and vines. Like there's no way a 16-year-old kid could clear that shit out by himself.
You know what? I think that Megan fucking Ward is just so hot that like he met her like when they were in kindergarten, right? He's like, man, I kind of like her. I think she's gonna grow up to be really pretty. She's gonna be really pretty. And Dad told me that, like, fucking, if I take this shovel and I dig in our backyard, one day we can have a pool, and I'm gonna take her to prom. We're gonna go to the party after. We're gonna go to my pool, and I'm gonna kiss her on the prom night. And fucking, he started digging that hole that night when he was in kindergarten, and now he's so close. He's in high school. It's almost done. And fucking, he's gonna stumble upon the caveman. See, we needed like if they ever reboot this, we can have the series where they go into more behind the scene, behind the raw detail. We get the little details. Like we're getting ready to run into his Megan fucking Ward right now, and it's kind of funny because I noticed that. I feel like I'm talking way too much. You could go ahead if you want to.
No, you're talking. No, the only note I had at this point when you said if they adapted and we get more in depth, I was like, yeah, if we could do this on HBO Max or Showtime now, you know how they always try to make everything all edgy and dark because it doesn't have like a rating, it's just on streaming. The Encino Man TV show, he would actually be digging a hole in the backyard for Megan Ward for after he rapes and defiles and murders her body, a place to stick her. That's why he would be digging it in the made for Showtime original Encino Man series.
We're actually there's some weird shit like that in here. We're getting ready to find out. It's really convenient that they just happen to go to school the same day that they're learning about these underground glaciers, and in the same class, cavemen. Oh, look at that, tweaking her butt. Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could just do the whole commentary of just reading the subtitles of Pauly's
exactly.
words here.
Pauly Shore was just commentating fucking Megan Ward getting felt up by the jock douchebag character in the movie that Sean Astin is like fucking he wants to date Megan Ward, but this guy seems to be the guy. And I was gonna mention because it seems really weird because it almost seems like what happens whenever you write the script and then like rewrite the script. Megan Ward's character seems to go back and forth between barely acknowledging that he exists to like fucking being acquaintances to being like fucking I don't know, it's so weird. Like whenever he shows her the picture, he's like, "Oh, don't forget, we've been naked together." She's like, "Oh, wow, yeah." You show anybody that? I don't know if I get the impression that she even knew he existed before this movie kind of takes place, but he kind of looks at her like fucking he's been after her his whole life. Like, has he ever even, because later on in the movie, whenever he uses his one phone call to call her to ask to go to the prom, like a fucking idiot, instead of calling his parents, she says no, and then the ultimate bomb is dropped like, I don't want to go with you, but can you ask Link? I kind of want to go with Link. And at that point, it's just like, oh, shit. What? Why would you do that? But
why are you obsessed with the end of the movie already? We're like 10 minutes in.
I know, but it's like, what if she didn't even know? Because that's what I was going to bring up. That's a meme now, when he looks like that. Fucking Chad.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was sharing those memes of the Chad.
That's so good. But
you got to be a Chad bully to lean into the camera, or in the world of the movie, he leans into the vision of Sean Astin, and then he does his little head nod thing, little no wiggle. That
caveman is clearly Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
he's lying. See right here, he says, fucking Cro-Magnon man, he took what he wanted, and that included his women. And because at first she goes, "That's dope, I'd go out with him," and then he goes, "Oh fuck!" He basically tells her like, the way, humans kept going back then was basically there was no consent involved. They just clubbed you and took you. Really crazy shit. And then she goes, "That's barbaric," but looks turned on. It's like, did she just get turned on by the idea of raped by a caveman, or does she just have the hots for that teacher who is our boy, from
Rick
from Little Monsters, and he's already gone. Mm-hmm. His cameo was that short.
I was gonna say, can you imagine just a couple years before this, he had a co-starring role with Tom Hanks in The Burbs, and now he gets one. Just like 3 years later, he gets like one scene in Encino Man. Yeah. Which, by the way, we didn't point out either. Like Megan Ward's best kind of bimbo friend, who's like really. By the way, this is a Disney movie, Zach, but it's like a teen Disney movie. Technically, it's a Hollywood Pictures movie, so they wouldn't let her like yes, this is a Hollywood Pictures film. Like they wouldn't put the Disney name on it, so they could be more raunchy. Mm-hmm. Even though it's PG-13, it's being full teen. So it's like her Megan Ward's best friend, played by the babylicious young Robin Tunney.
So pretty, so pretty.
Yeah, she got all hot and horny when she saw a picture of a caveman, and that's when the like you said, the teacher. He gave the speech that cavemen would just rape and stuff. I love how the dog was just laying on basically a bouncy board with some gravel on top of it, to make it look like the ground was.
Chad.
But yeah, but I don't know if you know this. A little bit of fun trivia I found on IMDb. Zach, is the teacher explaining the concept of caveman rape to her. That actually really heavily inspired Gaspar Noé, the French director, to make the film Irreversible many years later.
Are you fucking kidding me? Is that a joke or is that real?
No, it's real.
That sounds so random that it's just like that has to be either the greatest joke ever or fucking just completely true, because it's one of those things that like fucking I could see somebody just like, hell yeah, that fucking this movie is just inspiring Kino left and right. How can it not be on Criterion by now?
How could a Criterion not be retitled Encino?
Exactly.
I mean,
fucking at this point, you might as well. Fucking Monica Bellucci in that movie. What a Stacy. What a Stacy.
I know.
Fucking, it's so pretty.
Like,
so
I
pretty.
want to cover that movie so bad, but like I feel like it would be so hard. Like, we'd have to choose our words so damn carefully while covering that thing.
Exactly. Basically, we could just say all the sex jokes we want and then just reverse them so they have to like, they don't even know what we're saying. Maybe we could just fucking, we'll do something clever. We'll think about it.
So some more trivia here, and this is like something I didn't even know till today, actually doing research. I mean, Encino was like a little bit like random, you know, for the American audience of the title, but like overseas, like nobody would really know what Encino was, because Encino is just basically a suburb in California. So like for the UK, this is actually titled California Man.
California Man.
Which, like, that, like, I mean, Encino, I understand, like, the logic, like, more people in the UK have heard of the state of California than have heard of the town of Encino. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, California Man sounds like you're just going to watch a movie about some surfer guy or something.
And fucking, I can't say, if I was, like, back in the day, I was living in the UK or wherever it was called that, and I was like, I'm going to go see a film, fucking California Man, and then fucking, I would think like fucking Carrot Top on a surfboard, like the fucking chairman of the board cover.
Chairman of the board.
But then I go and I see it's about this, and it's like, you know, it's not all that different than what I expected. So I wouldn't be too bad.
It would be funny too, because I can't remember which came out first. I think Chairman of the Board came out maybe like the year or maybe 2 years after this. Wouldn't it be funny if in the UK they just retitled that one California Man 2 Chairman of the Board?
Fucking, that's the thing that they should have done. That would have been so amazing. And again, people would be like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, he went from like wanting to be a guy that made these fucking what was the plot of Chairman of the Board? He wanted to make TV dinners that had a TV built in. That was his big idea. And he's like, oh fucking, the whole movie's like, oh, we can't do that. Fucking, it'll cost too much. It's like, what a stupid plot for a movie. Like, fucking, it's kind of brilliant actually. Now that I think about it.
I don't know what it is.
You were gonna try to convince me it was brilliant, and you did just by that fucking breath you took. I believe you already.
I was gonna say, I remember when Chairman of the Board came out, like, it reminded me so much, like, for some reason, but like just like the style of the movie, the marketing, it reminded me so much of that Bobcat Goldthwait movie Hot to Trot, where he has the talking horse and the corporation, and like he's like some kind of marketing guy or something, but he has to steal the ideas of the talking horse, pass them off as his own, but he's like really an idiot. That's what Chairman of the Board always reminded me of.
I love that we live in a world where movies like this exist. Fucking Chairman of the Board, Hot to Trot. So stupid, but amazing.
Even better, we live in a world where there's a podcast devoted to talking about them.
Here we go. They found Link. He's frozen in ice. They take him into the fucking garage. They immediately, the logic is so weird. They immediately decide, okay, fucking, we're gonna be rich. We found a caveman in my backyard. We're gonna be rich. We need to. Okay, we're gonna put him up. We're gonna put him in my garage. We're gonna put heaters on him to thaw him out. And then nothing else is explained. We're just gonna put heaters on him to thaw him out. He of course, cartoon logic. He unthaws and he's okay. He's a caveman. He's alive and everything. But in real life, if you decide to do that, it'd be like, why would you do that? Why would you assume that the body wouldn't just fall apart why would you want it to melt at all? Like you want it to stay frozen, and they come back and then they're like, oh, he melted. And it's like, why'd you put heat on him? He's gonna melt regardless. Why'd you do that? I don't get it. But it's amazing. It's Kino shit.
Well, you know what's funny too is like they show Pauly has to, like, they have to hook up ropes to the lawnmower and stuff to pull the big ice block out of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do they then get the ice block up on like the 6,000-pound ice block up on the little workbenches and shit that they have them hanging on to follow? Like that was the one thing that drove me nuts when I watched this the other day. I was like, how the fuck did they lift it?
Not only that, if Pauly can operate heavy machinery, why isn't he just fucking digging the hole for his pool in the first place? Why weren't they using that to dig the hole? Maybe they were.
Scrape it out or whatever.
Maybe the idiot was just like posing, pretending like he just wanted to trick me into thinking that he's been digging that hole since he was in fucking kindergarten. Pussy.
Yeah.
Beta. He deserves to get shot down by fucking Megan fucking Ward right here, which is happening.
We might have missed it already, or maybe it's coming up, but did you notice, and it was really weird because she has a similar role in Biodome, but did you notice the random, 14-year-old Rose McGowan cameo in this film?
I did. She has 2 little cameos. It's so weird. It's so weird to think that, she was 14 because, I saw this movie as a kid, and it was like, oh, it's a high school girl. And then, I watch it now, and I still just see a high school girl, but, she was 14. It's so weird how our mind cements things. But look how fucking he is sweating. Fuck, that's like me anywhere basically. Fucking big stud, always sweating because I'm Big Chad. It's not because I got a disease or anything. Fucking I always stink and shit.
we got to talk about the bully. And it's kind of another reason why I really like this movie is I really like the bully in this movie. Which, by the way, the bully has a sidekick, Patrick Van Horn, who also plays Vince Vaughn's sidekick in the movie Swingers.
Chad.
Did you pretty Chad cameo. But the bully is played by Michael DeLuise, which is the brother of what's his name, Peter DeLuise, and the son of Dom DeLuise.
Chad.
And it's pretty interesting because he comes from an acting family, and it's he got started on 21 Jump Street when they did teenage flashbacks of his older brother's character. So, you see him in a couple episodes, when they flash back to, because he looks almost just like his brother, just younger and smaller. So they flash back, and then they're just like, screw it. Let's write a new character for him. So then he comes on to 21 Jump Street as a completely different guy.
Amazing.
Even though he's played the younger version of this character. So, when he came out in this movie, I knew exactly who it was. And I gotta say, as far as school bullies go, he's pretty good.
He's not bad. I don't remember anything else he's in besides this. He's just he's the guy from Encino Man to me.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he's more the guy from 21 Jump Street. It looks like he's done a bunch of other little small things. He had a bunch of one episode, 2 episode roles on TV. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't look like he's done too much lately.
Look at this fucking chat. We were seeing Brendan Fraser. He just got fucking the ice just broke. The ice is gonna break. Fucking it broke, and he's got shit in his hair. It literally looks like they use shit as shampoo back in caveman days, basically.
So we kind of didn't really explain what the opening sequence was. He died. He was in a cave with his caveman girlfriend, and there was an earthquake or an avalanche, I guess you should say, and the cave collapsed in on them. So he got encased. He got crushed, but somehow he I guess he got in the ice, so then that preserved him.
How could he have frozen so fast that he didn't starve to death? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But it's amazing. It's good Kino shit. This is Kino Cuisino. You're not supposed to think about it like that. That's what dumb people do.
Exactly.
Fucking the smart people are actually the people that never think about anything or question anything that we're watching. This dog is fucking cool though. He just shoved him out of the way like that.
Exactly. You know what's kind of funny, and probably I remember this, and this was probably even before you were born, Zach. But you know how you keep laughing at how ridiculous the concept of this movie is?
Yeah.
Well, they actually didn't invent this concept. This was first done in 1984 as a dramatic film called Iceman.
Amazing.
And I remember when that movie came out and seeing parts of it on cable as a kid. It was a movie with John Lone, Timothy Hutton, Danny Glover, and it was a serious movie. And it's literally they find a caveman in the ice, he thaws out, and over time it's just all these scientists studying him, and then like they realize like how they're just basically treating him bad by like making him adapt to
Yeah, it is kind of weird how that is technically a science fiction idea, because we think of it as like, oh yeah, that could totally happen, because we know that Disney himself is frozen on ice, but we don't know they'll ever unthaw him. Like, he could just be dead and always be dead. We assume maybe one day. What if there isn't a way to do that? He's just dead now, maybe.
Well, I always heard different things, but the thing I mostly heard was that they froze his head. Like, they cut his head off and froze it with the idea that one day they could give him a new body. So, I mean, I doubt you could, like, put a head on a body.
Plot
It'd probably
twist.
be more like a brain transplant. So, like, maybe Walt Disney's brain is in somebody's body right now, and we just don't even know about it.
Fucking... That's perfect, and we should just start writing these ideas down, because plot twist, this should be a Disney Plus exclusive fucking series where basically fucking we're wrong. Like, it isn't science fiction. They put his brain in a fucking computer, and then they make an AI, and he's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You've been running this fucking place into the ground. You own all these companies. You haven't even put out Encino Man on Blu-ray, and you haven't greenlit Encino Man 2. 3.
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck? That's the kino of the shit we ono. We eno.
We ono this kino. We're not.
We were
exposing
thinking.
it.
I keep wanting to rhyme the words I say after kino, because we were talking about making a new pig Latin where it's kino Latin, and you just fucking like you ready to watch some Kino Cuisino to Nino, fucking but nobody would know what we're saying.
Tonino might be new. We should just mention, how did you feel about when he runs out in the street and he sees the garbage truck, and because it has like the little spikes on it, he thinks it's a woolly mammoth, and the garbage truck actually makes like an elephant roar. What did you think about that? I thought that was very that took a lot of artistic license, and that was a very Kino moment.
Fucking, we're actually seeing it through his eyes, because he's got PTSD, which he would, because he had to fight for his life every day as a caveman. He had to fight to survive. Like, we take that for granted. Like, now we could just go to the supermarket and eat. He had to make sure he brought home that fucking dank ass mate cuisino.
Exactly. But back in the day, out in the fields, he fought for his meals. Teenage caveman. Exactly.
This movie really downplays the trauma that would come out of like just waking up one day. Yesterday you were a caveman, and now you're supposed to be a part of civilized society, and it really makes a joke out of it. I think they really could have made an artistic statement. Maybe they do if we watch deeper throughout the commentary, actually.
And
see, right away he starts fucking setting ablaze to everything, fucking everything you know and love, fucking the shit that you own. Like, what's that trying to say about capitalism and shit? Fucking, all they smearing shit on the walls. Like, life drives us crazy. We're fucking going to work every day, coming home, smearing shit on the walls. I don't know. Do you smear shit on the walls when you come home from a hard day?
Oh, I mean, well, I work at home for now, so I do it during the work.
You're just shitting while you're sitting there working.
Yeah.
It's just smearing into the seat.
Yeah. I'm just laying in it. Like, and it gets caked up. It looks like the stuff in Brendan Fraser's hair right here.
Why does it? It literally does.
He died in a cave avalanche. I never understood why he emerged like he fell into like a red clay bath or something before he died. That's weird.
I never thought of it, but earlier I said it looked like they shampoo with shit, just diarrhea shit. And it kind of does. It looks like he just got it like shampooed into his hair. It's just like, what did they use for that? It looked like maybe pudding. I can't tell.
Wow, he's actually got a LA Clippers sticker on his door. That's shocking. Let's take a minute to break down Sean Astin's room here, though. How would you rate this room? Because remember back then in all the high school movies, the main character always had to have a really cool room. Mm-hmm. He just has like signs and just random shit stapled to the wall.
This reads very much like how we know it works, where it's just like some 30 something, like, okay, I gotta buy a bunch of shit that's gonna be on the walls. Nobody's gonna pay attention to it, with like the set dresser type of thing. But like, yeah, fucking, whenever they really think about it and it works, like I always remember a lot of movie rooms. From movies growing up, like Brain Scan and shit like that. But like this one's it ranks very like fucking just some guy was just like fucking, it doesn't even matter what's in the back. There's nothing really to pick up on about his personality. Fucking, it's always the easiest whenever they like, whenever you can see like the movie posters or something like that. That's something I would always put in a fucking movie if I was making a movie. Like, fucking write that the fucking kid is really like, you gotta write what you know, baby. You gotta write what you know. You got cool posters on the wall and cool shit.
I think it's funny now when they do period piece movies for kids, and it'll be like, this is set in 1982, and then the kid will have like all the posters from 1982 movies, like he just got them like the week that they came out in the theater. You know what I mean? Like,
see, look, we're the scene where fucking Pauly Shore, fucking our boy Brendan Fraser, he's going crazy, smearing shit on the walls, trying to start a fire by rubbing sticks together and shit. Fucking, and then Pauly Shore basically stuns him by showing like his lighter, the flame. Pauly Shore's flame on his lighter was really high. Like you could tell he's a toker. Yeah. You can tell he's a pot smoker. But like fucking, that stopped him dead in his tracks because, as we know, the caveman, they never did fucking, it was hard to make a fire back in the day. Now he makes fire from his hand. He makes fire from his hand. What movie was that from? Remember that?
No, I don't.
Oh, that was fucking Hocus Pocus.
Oh, okay. Whenever it's been a while since it. That's another one we need to do. I keep farting around on getting a copy and I just never pick it up.
So good.
No. But like, this is pretty much like, story-wise, this is probably like the scene of the movie that's like the most addressing like the actual plot of like they're trying to deal with a caveman. You know what I mean?
Basically, Sean Astin's character, he wants the caveman because he's gonna make us popular, man. It's gonna be our ticket to Coolsville. Very low T. And fucking our boy, the great Pauly Montgomery Shore, he's like, fucking, I don't want to exploit him. I just want to be his friend. What a Chad. Is Stony a Mary Sue?
Yeah, he is. Stony's weird. Well, you know what's funny is like you can tell the difference in like whatever decades. Like a decade earlier in the 80s, like the exact same plot of Weird Science. Like they make like this hot ass woman and they take nude showers with them. And this one, it's two guys trying to get popular by having just like a guy who's like, you know, functionally kind of like autistic, you know. And all of a sudden they're going, like, they think they're going to get rich. They're going to get, which like I kind of understood like the idea of like we're going to have like the scientific find of the century. Like we found this dead guy in our backyard. Like that was before they saw he woke up, you know, and like I kind of get that angle. But once it just like they find him alive and they're just like, okay, the thing that's special about him is he's a caveman, but then we're going to, like, clean him up and cut his hair to where nobody knows he's a caveman. It's like, how are you going to get rich and famous off of that?
That makes no sense. Well, any other way, it's like they had the idea, maybe the whole movie was built around this scene, where it's like, oh yeah, the fucking I'm Too Sexy scene, where it's a montage of them taking the fucking the guy who sticks out like a sore thumb and makes him look fucking new and popular, the woman, whatever. Maybe all of them were just like fucking, they were just sitting in a room writing down like all the different things they could do, and they're just like fucking a caveman. You know, write that one down. We'll keep it coming. Fucking prostitute, fucking pretty woman. The script's already written right there. Give me another one.
Come on, keep him.
Fucking old woman, Robin Williams in old makeup, fucking Mrs. Doubtfire. See, they didn't all have to be the same exactly. That one, he was playing, you know, fucking with the broom and acting like it was making the dude looks like a lady and shit. Fucking, they're just coming up with montage ideas and making movies.
Dude's got a penis.
Hell yeah, that's what it should have been.
By the way, here's some more mind-blowing trivia for the scene we just saw. For the scene where Link is in the bath, Brendan Fraser was popping real bath beads into his mouth. He had a bucket nearby to spit them into after each take. Why didn't he just spit them into the bath?
What is bath beads? I'm not even sure that sounds like
honestly, I have no idea.
That's like middle class shit. I was fucking my parents, like, whenever we ran out of fucking shampoo, they put water in it, and you had to take fucking watery, soapy, nasty fuck. You had to wash your hair with some watery shit for like 2 days until we got some new shit. Remember that?
I remember just like the shampoo but I remember the shampoo when I was a kid was like a junk. It was like hand soap is now. It was just like this clear red or green shit in a bottle, and it would bubble up, but it's like compared to the shampoo we have now, like, yeah, like I don't even think it was really shampoo. Like,
Chad, look, he just flipping. I love that right there. It cuts to Stony. He's just reacting to fucking Sean Astin trying to show Link how to not be autistic, basically. And fucking Stony's just being autistic, fucking trying to start a fire in his lap. And he fucking that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. I always laugh at that.
Okay, I have some trivia here that I'm actually going to call bullshit on because I'm not buying it. Okay, supposedly Jim Carrey and Nicolas Cage were both considered for the role of Link before Brendan Fraser was cast. Oh. Okay, Jim Carrey, maybe. It was before Ace Ventura, and I think he was on In Living Color. I could see kind of. Nicolas Cage could not have been considered for Link. You know why? Because you would cast him.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't consider and say no. Could you imagine Nicolas Cage? Like, this would have been one of his iconic characters that they would have showcased in the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Exactly.
Like the guy would have had, like, wax dummies of Nicolas Cage's Link in his place.
Basically, that would have solidified him as, like, fucking pop culture royalty. Like, I've always been on the Nicolas Cage bandwagon. I've always thought he was super interesting. One of the most interesting A-list actors. See, I think people like him fucking make Hollywood still at least a little interesting. Like the people that aren't like the what's that guy's name? The fucking oh god, he was
Tom Holland.
Him fucking so many of them. The guy that's
everybody's so bland now.
Guardians of the Galaxy guy, very bland.
Oh, Chris Pratt. Yeah, everybody named Chris.
Pretty much. Maybe that's just like it's like basically it starts with a C. It is like the grade of a C. Like you're an okay, but you're an average person. I give you effort, a C for effort.
Yeah. Now this is where they have to convince Sean Astin's parents that even though the house is clearly smeared in shit now, broken into, smeared in shit, but now they have to convince him that that Link here, which what they named him, Link is actually a foreign exchange student, and the mom and dad argue, and the mom's like, I would have remembered if a foreign kid was coming to live with us for 6 months, and the dad's like, I think I do remember something like that. It's fine, honey.
Have you ever, like, got one over on your parents like that?
I can't really say. Like, I think maybe, like, just little tiny shit. Like, oh, you said you were going to take me here. And like, oh, no. But you said, like, maybe something like that.
Something
but, like, not like...
Yeah, every once in a while you would get lucky and your parent would just, like, confuse something you said before as, like, oh, yeah, maybe I do remember that. And you're just like, okay, yeah. Hell yeah.
That's Chad shit. Basically, was it that you got lucky, or were you just really 8,000 IQ and you were laying the seeds to your future, I was going to say demise, but it's the opposite of demise. It's fucking the greatness. You were laying the seeds of your greatness.
Well, if you think about it, Zach, it actually kind of makes sense, okay? Like, you are made up of DNA of your mom and your dad, right? So you are literally a physical combination of your mom and your dad, okay? Mm-hmm. So doesn't it make more sense that you're more powerful than them because you have both of them combined?
Both their powers combined is you, exactly. A little bit of his came, a little bit of her came, got together. Yeah. Fucking, it created you. That's a good thing to live by.
Are you ready for some more trivia that I refuse to believe? Okay.
Go for it.
All right.
As he's dancing with a dog right there.
Yeah, up on his shoulders. You know it's probably pissing all over the side of his jacket. 8 months before the film's release, a naturally mummified body of a man from 3300 BC was found in the Austrian Alps. He was eventually named Otzi the Iceman. His discovery may have stimulated the interest for viewers to see the movie. Bullshit. You know what? stimulated the interest of viewers to see this movie.
We all
the
know.
Weasel, bro.
Oh, the Weasel, buddy. Fucking Chad. Everybody was talking like that. He gets everybody talking like that in the movie. And fucking the guys at the bar, fucking Link starts talking like that. Basically, that was a big draw to it too. Is like fucking like, oh yeah, the joke will be like fucking we'll make a fish out of water story. That's kind of what his first two movies are, Son-in-Law and Encino Man. Like whoever was like coming up with the ideas for like the Pauly Shore movies was like kind of brilliant. It's like fucking fish out of water. He's so weird. We'll do that. But in this movie, it's the caveman. He's gonna be like fucking. He teaches the caveman to be more like him, basically.
Yeah.
And then fucking in the next one, it worked out even better because like look, it tapped into all that shit with all that shit. Barry Chad, the fucking. The culture differences, the fucking you go to California, then the Midwest, all that shit.
Well, yeah, and like it's kind of funny though, because it's like this movie is like the most Pauly Shore movies, because not only do you have Pauly Shore doing the Weasel bit, then you have the second guy, Brendan Fraser, doing the Weasel shit in the second half of the movie. So it's like, you know, like Pauly Shore always talks about how the Weasel thing died out quick because he got so big and everything. It's like, yeah, they kind of exhausted all the Weasel stuff in his first movie. Like they just hit you over the head with it, you know.
That is his character the first two movies, and then like after that, it's like they kind of lay off of it. He doesn't have the hair anymore for in the army now. It didn't really ever feel like the Weasel again, besides his first two movies.
Yeah, there was Rose McGowan when they walk into the school with Link, like all the girls are turning their heads, and Rose McGowan's like, wow, look at him, whatever. You know, like, just basically her character having zero motivation other than just to fawn all over a man, you know, having to do this role really probably boils her blood nowadays.
Fucking exactly. Fucking she's all fucking thousand. She's gonna fucking come in here, lay down all the critical based theory. Fucking basically, she's gonna school us all. Basically, critical based theory is the teaching of Mac and Zackism. We coined that, and like she's gonna come in and school everybody on the critical based theory.
Exactly.
One thing we had to bring up that this fucking movie really fucks up is they use a cover of Wooly Bully for one of the montages coming up, and it's terrible. They should have.
It's very terrible.
Why didn't they use any other one? Like they could have used any other one, and it would have been better. Like I haven't even heard them all, but I can guarantee that.
Well, like there was also a Hollywood Records record label that Disney owned at the time that put out a lot of like rock albums and stuff, and later would have an infamous, run in with the ICP. But so like basically, yeah, like the soundtrack of this was like an excuse, and not just this film, but a lot of Hollywood picture films was like excuse to use their band's music. So like I don't know why they felt the need to like throw in like all these like cover songs and well-known songs. Like almost every song in here has to be like a well-known song. I'm like, you should just use a bunch of unknown music and made it popular. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, we just saw the scene where Link. He makes his first kind of flirts with the girl there. He does like a very socially acceptable version of flirting with the situation. It's a misunderstanding at first because he's like he smells something and he sniffs her hair, and then like she turns around, whoa, and then it's like oh they just kind of like start talking or something like it kind of cuts away. But it looks like it's fine. He really adapted to like the not clubbing them over the head and just taking them back to your hut really fast. That's really good for the movie because that could have got dark really quick.
See, I would love if the remake just went to all those dark places. You know what I mean? But yeah, he almost grabbed Robin Tunney's breast, and it's funny too because like they kind of play it like through the first half of the movie, like they make you or lead you into thinking that he's going to end up hooking up with Robin Tunney because Sean Astin wants to go with Megan Ward, you know. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but then they bamboozle you because then he just loses interest in Robin Tunney, and then he starts hanging out with like the main girl, Megan Ward. So like, what is this? Like, it's so confused.
Our boy Link is the bigger Chad than Sean Astin. He fucking shows up and steals his girl. He steals up his girl.
I love the hip hop guys here. Like back then, like hip hop was such a clown thing to like movie producers that like there would just be randomly people with like boom boxes and doing hip hop dances in movies and shit. Do you remember this era? Like just everybody being a hip hop clown.
I do in movies. Yeah, fucking Ice
Like,
from what's that movie? Hocus Pocus again. That guy looks like botched fucking a David Cryer clone.
But that would be like if you showed a bunch of metalheads in the parking lot of the school and like they're all standing there rocking out and air guitaring all the time.
Mm-hmm. Chad. Fucking exactly. Build a whole movie around it. They just stand out in front of like a fucking convenience store, even like a fucking Circle K or something, and just fucking play air guitar, and fucking some guy in a fucking phone booth shows up. Weird shit you see all the time.
They make all the girls. Robin Tunney again is all thirsty for Link, leaning into his lap and all this bullshit. It's just like, I mean, this is like California. Like, don't these girls have like a pick of like all kinds of guys in the area? You know what I mean? Like,
true.
I would figure it'd be a pretty hot social scene. Are they really just all over the first like new guy that shows up in school?
Fucking, it's putting false hopes in our minds. You think you think fucking you're gonna have hard time picking up the chicks. Fucking, well, this stupid ass caveman can do it, and he does it relatively easy. He just shows up and smiles at a chick. Fucking, that's why he doesn't even know how to cook a fucking.
He doesn't even smile. He just leers at them.
It's amazing. That's all you gotta do though. You gotta make your hair look like fucking stony crusty dude. Like fucking a boy.
Which, dude, talk about dropping the ball. How could freaking 7-Eleven or Circle K not want to be involved in EnKino Man to the point where we have 99-cent Super 7 Mart as the convenience store in it?
Yeah, there's not a real convenience store they're in here.
Yeah, Super 7 Mart, 99 cents. Super 7.
Yeah, this scene where he's going through the fucking shit.
Milk the food groups.
You hide these under your pillow, bro, so your mom doesn't find. If she does, you're tweaked, buddy. Fucking, I love this shit. So dumb.
Sweet tart, so citrusy, dude, you'll freak.
Amazing.
I love how he finds the 4 food groups in just the candy aisle.
Exactly. Is he referring to that bullshit food pyramid?
Yeah, he is. Like, I remember being taught that as a kid in school. Which, by the way, I think this was the most famous part of this movie. And it really had nothing to do with it being a caveman movie. It just had to do with Pauly Shore being in a convenience store with some some Indian guys working it.
I love too, like, back when I saw this movie for the first time, exclusively all I ate was like fucking frozen burritos. And as soon as they're like, how many minutes for the cashmere rashmi? How many minutes for the burrito again? 1 minute, 2 minutes. Make up your mouth. This is 1 or 2. I knew right away it's 2 minutes, but they say 1 minute, and I'm like, that's gonna get cold. He's gonna bite into that. It's gonna be icy cold. And what happens? He fucking he breaks it. He breaks it in half with his hands, which he would have felt that it was cold before he bit into it. But he bit into it anyway because he takes it for the team. He's a Chad.
Exactly.
He's a Chad.
And here we get the famous Wheezin the Juice.
Wheezin the Juice.
I feel like they should have done that thing like after the credits where they always just throw in like a joke or an outtake. They should have done when we're just Pauly is back at the store wheezing the juice again.
Exactly. I love that he literally just fucking took a mouthful of the frozen drink to his fucking he just took it straight from the tap. He walks off camera, and in the next shot, he's not covered in the fucking the shit anymore. I love that. I love when movies do that. I thought, like, growing up, like, I'm gonna do shit like that. If I ever make movies, I'm always gonna do that. It's gonna be always like that. Man, I wish I could have done it. I could have brought the revolution. But it would have stuck.
I love too that they had like Stony takes Link to an amusement park and like they do this montage, and like 75% of the montage is just them on the same roller coaster.
75% of this movie is montages. I just noticed too. Because fucking this is a montage. I'm gonna knock you out was kind of a montage, and then like they're going through the school. He's doing the flips. Fucking montage. It's montage the movie, but it's amazing. There's so many.
When they go on the water ride, like they are surrounded by like the hottest like Playboy Playmate girls, and it's just like how come this doesn't go anywhere? Like they got their arms are touching them all over, groping them up. Like how come like they're like those girls are not part of the rest of the movie? Like I don't believe for a second that horny ass Stony would just like be like, okay, time to go home now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You can't believe that the women wouldn't give him the time of day too, because they're so fucking stony crusty, fucking that big chads.
Which by the way, what is the irony of Pauly Shore playing a guy who can't get anywhere with women in this movie, when in reality everybody was all about his Daisy Duke shorts and women throwing themselves at him because he was on MTV. And like, I get that the character in the movie isn't on MTV, but it's still the same shit that like every girl fell for back in the day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You know what I just thought of? I brought up, but I got sidetracked. I brought up the new Pauly Shore movie that's coming out, the Pinocchio.
Oh, Pinocchio,
One of 3 Pinocchio movies. And I finally watched. First of all, it's got our boy Pauly Shore, fucking John Heder from Napoleon Dynamite, remember him?
Yeah.
And Tom fucking Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, voice of Rocco, or Heifer, Rocco's Modern Life. He's done all kinds of stuff. But like, what an all-star cast. With an all-star cast like that, how do you not fucking outshine the Del Toro movie that's going to come out, and then the fucking Tom Hanks movie that's going to come out?
Well, you know why there's 3 of them, right? So like, Pauly Shore was been working years to make his Pinocchio come to life, and you can evidence that by his commitment to the voice acting. But he'd been making that, so it's like they're like, oh, we gotta compete with Pinocchio, like, so we'll make our own Pinocchio. And they're like, well, we can't just go head to head with Pauly Shore, so we got to make 2 more Pinocchios, like, because you just can't compete against Pauly Shore with just one movie.
Exactly.
You gotta have two to take him out. But it's not working because obviously Pauly Shore is the most talked about. Which, by the way, I love this part here where Stony tells Sean Astin's dad, like, hey, like I have a bad situation at home, so like you need to be okay with me coming over here eating your food every night. And like the irony is like he's laying this guilt trap on the dad, but like the dad's like not even giving him shit in the slightest.
Exactly. I don't know. I never thought if he's laying a guilt trip on him, or if he's just pointing out that like it feels like I noticed that this time watching it, that it's like, yeah, he just says that out of nowhere, like, if you're wheezing on my gig because I mean you're grinding, so like fucking yeah. I think our boy Stony, he's one of those guys, he tries to overcompensate, tries to be overly friendly with your parents. You ever have those guys?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like they're kissing up like it's a job interview or something.
Exactly.
But like, he doesn't have to, because he's just so fucking charming and adorable. How could you not love Stony?
I love that they make the prehistoric bowl that's probably worth like $2 million that was also buried with Link. They make it into the dog's bowl.
I just noticed that. I never.
Yeah.
Put
Well,
that
it's supposed to
together.
be like he's eating the food with the dog, but it's so obviously Cookie Crisp if you look in the bowl.
It is, yeah.
And then like that was in the trivia on the page. I'm like, really, like who wouldn't see that and not know it wasn't Cookie Crisp?
It's fun though. It's fun. Yeah. Cookie Crisp is pretty dank.
I guess you just gotta be like a teenage millionaire to be cool in Encino, California, because like, yeah, the guy's got an old dirty car, but like I didn't have a car when I was 16. Like him and Stony could drive all over town. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Shit, I forgot. The first thing I was gonna say on the fucking commentary was gonna be like, oh, you're invited, but your friend can't come.
Yeah.
And just play up
Vince
the irony.
Neil.
Play up the irony of that.
Yeah, there's a great Vince Neil song that's played about 3 times in this movie. It's in this part, and I think in the credits. Here we have a really quick appearance by Jack Noseworthy.
Yeah.
Who was burning up the movie, and a couple years later he would burn up Idle Hands.
Fucking Chad. Doing all these great fucking films. I love that fucking, you know that you shouldn't do that, you're gonna hurt his pancreas or something like that. Very concerned for his friend. Pauly Shore, do you think he's a Mary Sue?
I think he's a Gary Stu for sure.
Fucking, people don't bitch enough about fucking, if they did reboot it, they would be like fucking Stony's of Mary Sue. I was gonna bring up too, because we glossed and then I got sidetracked again, but like fucking, yeah, that new Pauly Shore movie, the Pinocchio, as soon as you hear him talk for the first time, did you notice how flamboyantly gay he sounds?
Yeah.
But that's just Pauly Shore's voice, right? That's just Pauly Shore. That's
I
how he
actually
always
saw
talks.
an interview with it, and I guess it's a movement called Yassified. They said Pauly Yassified Pinocchio, but in the interview, he's just like, I've always been cool with the gay community. I was raised by a lot of gay people around my family and stuff. He's like, so I'm cool with it. It don't bother me. But it's like, again, like, who does more for the LGBTQIA plus community than Pauly Shore? He's giving you the community their own Pinocchio movie.
Fucking, as soon as they heard that he spoke up and he was like, fucking, they were like, oh, we got Pauly Shore's an ally. They were like, oh my god, fucking Pauly Shore from Encino Man. Fuck. I've been waiting for that endorsement all year.
You know what's funny though about like that whole thing of like that voice and that Pinocchio is like you wouldn't think Pauly Shore would be a good match to voice Pinocchio in a movie, but when you look at their version of Pinocchio that they made in CGI animation, that voice kind of fits that character in that movie, the way it looks.
I love the fucking character he voiced in Goofy movie. Like, something about his voice, I think. I'm surprised he hasn't done more cartoon voice work. But I was going to bring up, like, I kind of wanted to look through the comments of that Pinocchio movie because I noticed, like, oh, he sounds so flamboyantly gay. How many comments do I have to go down before they're bitching about fucking woke fucking Pinocchio?
Whoa. Has no one decried it woke yet?
I don't know. I didn't think to look. I thought about it, but I was like, I don't know.
You know why they're giving it a pass is because the other side of the equation, they love son-in-law. They're not ready to give up son-in-law, so they're going to let Pinocchio, Pauly do his version of Pinocchio.
Fucking Pinocchio. I always wanted to have a. Why don't they make sex dolls modeled after Pinocchio and fucking his nose grows and you could just sit on his fucking face until you come? That would be cool.
Yeah. Here's some awesome trivia here. B-movie icon and former Penthouse Pet of the Year, Julie Strain, rest in peace, said she met Pauly Shore at the premiere. They hit it off and became good friends. The next day, she went with him to appear on the Howard Stern show to promote Encino Man. But Stern paid more attention to her than Shore, so she made a deal with Stern. She dropped her pants and let him spank her bare behind for every positive plug he gave the movie.
Amazing. That is.
So you come on Howard. This is why Howard Stern's a scumbag. They should fire him and give Pauly Shore his show. Pauly Shore is coming to promote the great Encino Man, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about Encino Man, the most important film of our lifetime. I just want to talk about this girl." And the point where, like, the only way he'll allow Encino Man to be talked about, even though everybody was talking about it anyway in real life, is he's got to be able to play butt bongo.
Amazing. He fucking just open about it. He probably did it live on the air too. Nobody was thinking like, "Fucking this is funny though. It's funny." It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So basically, in that scene when they go to the hockey place, is the bully beats up Link like in front of everybody.
Chad.
Which if this was the real world, that would be the end of Link being cool at school.
Fucking Chad is beat up. Fucking Link is the new virgin, and fucking fucking you don't fuck with that. So now they got to teach him how to fight. Fucking you got to go back up to him and you got to like punch him, and then you win the fight, and now you take back the fucking the power.
Mm-hmm.
But this is another little montage here, and I think there's another one right after it, unless I'm thinking of earlier in the movie. I noticed while watching it this time.
This is the third montage because we had the getting a bath montage, we had the roller coaster montage, and now this is the training to be a fighter wrestler montage. Which speaking of horrendous cover songs, this horrible like rock version of "Mama Said Knock You Out." It's so bad.
It sounds it sounds like some weird kids bop. Fucking now that's what I call music. Now that's what I call music was literally just a song. What are some of wasn't there ones where they covered them and it was like fucking. Yeah, you bought it on the TV and it was like fucking.
They would just cover it. And they would.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, they would fool you because they'd be like, "Oh, you're getting all these hit songs," but they wouldn't tell you that they were cover versions.
Maybe they figured they'd save money if they used those versions of the song for the soundtrack.
Like I know, Rose McGowan again.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting hot for Link again. But yeah, I know the movie Night of the Comet like uses a sound-alike version of Cyndi Lauper's "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" because they couldn't like do the real song or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But it actually kind of like works like when you do it just one time. One song in the movies like that because it's like, oh, this is kind of like the version for this movie. But like, yeah. Which, by the way, more trivia. That was Ke Huy Quan. I believe that's how you say his name. Maybe Ke Huy Quan. He plays Short Round in Indiana Jones and also the inventor kid in Goonies with Sean Astin.
And he came back to film. He is Kino King again in the new movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Here he is. He took a 20-year break from acting, and it was just by a fluke. Somebody said, oh, you should get back into acting, like a friend he knew was making the movie, and they got him, and he did all the kung fu and everything, and Michelle Yeoh. I haven't seen that film, but I actually really want to see it really bad.
It's very good. It's very good. It is batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. Did you like Metal Gear Solid game series?
Like I have them, but I would always play through them a little bit and get stuck. So I mean, I can't really say that I like them because I could never finish them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all I can say is this movie is what happens when Hideo Kojima is allowed to influence children. Like this, the kid that wrote this fucking definitely loved those games. There's no way that didn't happen in my mind.
Okay, like they're at the museum. I gotta point this out as being the worst ever. Like trivia, like it's not bad trivia, but it's just like why would they do this? So it's like, let me find it real quick.
Fucking basically, Link has a crazy fucking panic attack because he figures out how bones work here.
Yeah, like he like wouldn't he know everything about? Because he would be killing these animals. Like he sees all the skeletons of all the prehistoric animals. Like it makes no sense. But he's freaked out about seeing them. Or whatever.
Literally, the movie forgot that they had to survive by killing and eating other. Maybe he'd get free. Maybe that's it. That's what he saw. He saw the fucking human skull. Because maybe he was a good caveman. He never killed another human. Fucking.
That could be. Seemed like nobody was around where he lived. So the trivia for this scene is the characters take a field trip to the fictional California Museum of Anthropology. This scene was filmed at the George H. Page Museum at the La Brea Tar Pits in Los Angeles. How could they literally be filming like literally 100 yards from the La Brea Tar Pits and not working a scene of Link in the La Brea Tar Pits?
Fucking.
They should have, but did you notice that little shot of him running? It reminds me every time I see it of fucking like Chucky running, like whenever he would be like a little person in the Chucky
his
costume.
Little stumble step run. Yeah,
every time.
It's like, oh.
Only specifically whenever they're doing that trick where they have the little person in the Chucky costume, it looks just like those shots. I love
That's
them.
how they, that new Star Wars show. I know you don't watch it, but that Star Wars show, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's how they run on that show. Everybody.
Chad. Fucking.
Yeah, because they're always chasing this little girl around, and they would just in real life they would just like catch her in like 2 seconds. So they have to suspend disbelief that a 5-year-old can run away from them. So they all run and they do little stutter steps and they bobble their arms back and forth.
Chads. Fucking it's because of this movie. Fucking the Chads at fucking Disney are still letting the influence shine through.
It's reverberating.
Look at that fucking shot. Who else could rock that and pull that off? That fucking shirt our boy Pauly is wearing. What is that? Looks like that shit you put down for like old people when they they spill stuff a lot. You put that on the table.
You mean like the grip mat so their drink doesn't fall over easily?
Yeah.
And you also you can like you can like line the cabinets with it too to hold your glasses. Exactly. Which that was a thing. At 6'3", Brendan Fraser was actually too big for the clothing that costume designer Marie France originally purchased for him. Since Fraser's outfits were supposed to look baggy on him, France had to specifically make them all. So yeah, they had to make all, and like also it was somewhere else I read too. She also made all of Stony's clothes, and it was just based on the shit he was already wearing on Totally Pauly, but they just made it more like everyday wearable, like less like fabric on a crotch type thing. Like they just gave him more like functional pants and stuff. And they said they like kind of toned it down to where it'd be more like a youthful version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like okay, let's talk first impressions. I didn't have cable at the time that Pauly was taking off on Totally Pauly on MTV, but I would go over to my friend's house and we would watch it, and like we would make fun of it because we didn't understand the appeal of this guy. Like we thought he was so feminine and he was like so like whatever. Just like, okay, like when are they going to show him making out with the guy? Like we were convinced like he was like like totally a gay guy. And what's weird is then like as he did Encino Man and other movies, and like his kind of like you didn't realize like, oh, like no, he's getting like all the pussy. You know what I mean?
He's the biggest Chad ever.
Exactly.
Amazing. He's drowning in the pussy. Fucking just swimming.
I mean, in real life, he really, because I mean, he was a stand-up comic. So every time he did a set, he walks off stage. There was girls in the clubs coming up to him. He's doing MTV, so then it's like everywhere he goes in the mall, wherever, like every girl's coming up to him. And then he becomes a movie star. It's like, dude, it's like there's no way, like anybody got more girls than Pauly Shore.
And then he became fucking hated.
Yeah, I
love that show. That's so stupid. We're seeing the car on the fucking two-wheel. Like, it looks insanely unbelievable. Like, you could have made it at least a little bit more believable with it. It's like they put it at an angle to make it just the most unbelievable as possible. And I kind of respect that.
They used to do this shit in action movies, especially James Bond movies, where they would make these special cars that could be like either ripped apart or roll on one side. Like here, like it's just going along. It's like on a brace where it's like looks like it's just rolling on the two tires. It's just like, how is the balance of that working when like half the car is like full of people on that side? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Fucking, it's so absurd, but it's no more absurd than fucking using shit as shampoo, which the fucking cavemans did. You thought I was gonna say the caveman coming out, but I went to the shit shampoos. I diverted expectations.
Exactly. Oh, buddy. Which first it's like he's driving like 3 miles just on one side of the car, and now he's like a precision Hollywood stunt driver.
Amazing. Fucking Brendan Fraser's so fucking talented. That's why he's having a comeback with that fucking new movies coming out. Darren Aronofsky.
Oh yeah, The Whale. It's gonna be awesome.
Darren Aronofsky. Fucking, he's a member of Big Com.
I actually watched an interview today from like a couple years ago where they asked Brendan Fraser, when he was just starting that Doom Patrol show, if he would do Encino Man 2, and he was like, "Yeah, why not?"
Amazing. The king is spoken.
Exactly. I mean, what else can you say? Which I love here too, that they go to like this Cholo bar, and it's like it's like 2:00 p.m. on a Tuesday, and this place, there's like a line. I don't know if you noticed when they pulled up, there was like a line around the block to get into the place. It's like the hoppinest place, and it's all these gangster East LA guys like hanging out in this bar, getting shit faced, and like this whole thing is just an excuse to like lay down some stony comedy. Like first they want to beat him up because they think he's so effeminate, but then he does the weasel sound, and then they're all like wanting to like kiss him and give him drinks and stuff.
He wins them over with his great fucking drinking skills.
He does.
And he is a Mary Sue, because even though he's a high school kid, fucking they're like, fucking take a shot, and at first he's like, no, I can't. And then they kind of peer pressure him to it. But like fucking any kid in high school would have immediately like fucking like, hell yes, I'm gonna take a shot. Fucking
yeah, exactly. I got in this bar, I'm gonna drink as much as I possibly can.
He's so charming. Ultra.
Amazing.
Yeah, like in real life, like these guys would be beating the shit out of him because Pauly Shore tried to ad-lib in all his broken Spanglish in this fucking movie. Mm. In real life, if you had the balls to talk like this in front of these guys, like they would be beating the shit out of you right now.
Exactly. I love that right there, because he goes, oh, fuck it, do I have to pay for him? And then it cuts away. They go, oh, and then like fucking it shows Sean Astin walk in. They walk up to Stony and they're gone. So we have to think about if the camera would have stayed on them the whole time. Fucking, oh, do I have to pay for him? Oh.
And then they just turn around and walk away, and then they come back just a couple seconds later. It's so funny to think about that sometimes when you're watching a movie.
Yeah, the logic of like, well, how much time passed? It's like, damn. It's like, yeah, it seemed like all this was happening instantaneously.
I love this too because he tells him, "Don't you see my muchacho over there? Oh yeah, she looks really. Nobody look at my muchacho." Fucking, and then immediately he walks away. And then what happens? Link looks at his muchacho.
Yeah.
Fucking goes all the way up and starts dancing with her. Fucking the comedic the movie is fucking it's hitting on so many Kino receptors in my brain are just fucking having orgasms right now.
Speaking of, like, how hot is this girl? It's like ridiculous.
Stacy.
I know. Stacy Rita.
Right here we're seeing that the group of friends of the bullies fucking have decided that fucking how does this Link kid show up? Fucking all of a sudden he's so popular, and they decide they want to fucking find out about him. So they're looking at his transcript here. They see that it's just a dog license. Like, you think you could pull off this trick at school? Like fucking we need his transcript, okay? And then just give him anything, like a piece of your homework that's already been graded. And they'll just put it in the fucking folder, put it in the file cabinet. Like, see you later. Go to school now. That would be cool.
Yeah, like, I totally didn't realize what they were looking at the other day when I was looking at it. I was like, why would Stony have to slip in a dog license there? I guess the dog license paperwork was to show that the vaccinations. I totally forgot you used to actually have to produce paperwork before you could go to public school. Mm-hmm. Now everybody's just naturally no vax, but back then you had to prove that you were vaxxed to go to school.
Exactly. Fucking very Chad. Very Chad. Fucking, I noticed earlier, right there when he comes in, he fucking, look at that, he just spit it back in. That's gonna make somebody really angry.
Yeah, I was gonna say he downs the whole bowl of salsa and then he just spits it back out in the bowl, and it's supposed to be like he's going crazy because it's burning his mouth so hot and shit like that.
Exactly.
But it's just like, again, now his mouth is clean. He just shook it off.
Exactly. It's almost like they figured like, oh yeah. We'll just while we're here, we'll film the main, structure of the scene. We'll add in those little fucking, added in jokes. We'll do reshoots later, and it doesn't even matter that it's clean now. Fucking who cares? We don't have a continuity person.
No. He just shook his mouth so fast that it all flew off.
Exactly.
But yeah. So this is the part where Megan Ward starts getting hot for Link. But we should say here he's getting in trouble with the gangster guy because of his muchacha, and he learned in Spanish class to say the cheese is old and moldy. Where's the bathroom? And then all of a sudden the gangster guy laughs. He's like, "Yeah, you're right. She ain't worth it. Oh, we're buddies now." That's like the bizarrest turn.
And
like,
then the best way to end the joke is that she comes up literally right after hearing him say that, smacks him, and then he starts crying. That's like probably the best joke in the movie. It's the most memorable, I think.
Which, by the way, this is like the most like racist Disney over the top '90s movie bullshit. Like, it's not just Hispanic people in this bar. It's a mix of 50-50 even of Rastafarian people and then gangster Chicano people.
Fucking hell yeah. That's the bar I want to hang out at. Fucking.
Yeah.
And then Link Chamovsky shows up. Fucking just goes on an adventure.
It's just hilarious because instead of just becoming friends with them all or whatever, like, they would have beaten the shit out of Stony, and then they all would have been making love to him in the fucking back alley to teach him a lesson.
Exactly.
But now they're just best friends.
Fucking
Yeah, but what I was going to try to say, the thing that was so stupid was the whole reason why Megan Ward gets the hots for Link is because she danced with him. Because Sean Astin, I always kept forgetting his character name. His character name is Dave. Stupid ass Dave refused to dance with her. Like, finally his chance. He wants to get somewhere with this girl. He grew up with her for the last 14 years. He's in love with her. She's like, "Do you want to dance with me?" He's like, "Oh no, I can't dance." Oh, so of course she's gonna fall in love with the caveman. It's like, you can't even blame her at this point.
Exactly. I was gonna bring that up too, but I got sidetracked. Fucking. He uses one call to call her and ask her to dance, and then she says no. Can you ask Link to go with me? A lot of people probably watch that like, what a heartless fucking a-hole. What an artless a-hole. But I mean, I don't even get the impression that Sean Astin's even told her how he feels at all until fucking
Like asking her to go to prom is just it seems like he's just like trying to throw hints, maybe like, oh, he look at this picture of us as kids and we were naked together, but like he hasn't like put his foot down like, fucking baby, like I want to make love to you tonight. He's never done that.
Well, you got to think of it from her viewpoint too, where he uses his one jail phone call because he like, I don't even know why that bar got raided. It was a legal bar, like unless something else is going on. But Dave and Link get thrown in jail. But it's like why would he uses one call to say, "Oh, go to the prom with me"? From her point of view, why would she go to some guy who says, "I don't dance, I won't dance with you"? In the scene before, is like, you want to go to the prom for what? What is she gonna do? Sit around and like just sit in the corner the whole night because Dave, the dickhead who digs his own pool with a shovel, like doesn't dance? It's
motherfucker,
like,
you should have spent less time digging that pool with the shovel since you were in kindergarten. Learn how to fucking dance.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't dance, just fucking. You don't have to do anything. Just fucking turn your brain off. Just fucking move. You don't even have to do it. It's fine. Just do it. It's okay. You're gonna be fine. People get too worried about that. That's the problem. That's the problem with the world today.
It is. Are you ready for the most amazing piece of trivia yet?
Let's hear it, baby.
Originally, the filmmakers wanted Pauly Shore to play the role of Link, but since cavemen don't talk, they knew they'd lose the appeal of his humor and unique Pauly speak.
I remember hearing that. I remember hearing that Pauly Shore actually put his foot down. He's like, cavemen grunt. I need to wheeze my juice. I need to fucking, I need to talk about grindage. I need to do all the Pauly Shore-isms. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. You can't hire a guy known for being fucking weird and saying dumb shit and then have me say nothing. He was correct on that, I would say. But maybe they probably figured like, oh, we don't know if he can act or not. So like, let's not give him a lot of lines.
Especially, well, they said Jeffrey Katzenberg said, well, instead we'll just put you as one of the two teens in the thing, and it says they liked Shore so much they created the role of Stony Brown, which Shore helped develop himself, and says most of Stony lines are ad-libbed. But that's like the most brilliant move ever, because like it would still be a good movie if it was two dorks and then Pauly Shore is the caveman just acting weird and silly. That still would be a pretty good movie. But the way they did it with, like, making him not the caveman, now you get to have two funny characters. You have Stony, the weasel, and then Link, the caveman who's functionally autistic and smears shit on the wall. You know what I mean? Like, you create two different, fish out of water type of, like, whatever comedy characters. Now, we got to talk about how fucked up this scene is. So, because Megan Ward wants to go to the prom with Link instead, because he actually, how dare that slut? Because he actually dances with her. She wants to go to a dance with the guy who dances with her. But anyway, so yeah, like Sean Astin drives, which I never understood too. Why does Sean Astin not take his own car, his own dirty whatever car? Like he makes, or he takes his mom's like Volvo or whatever just to drive Link out. Like, it's the middle of nowhere. He's like the middle of nowhere, but if you look, you see houses like up on that hill there. But yeah, he just gives him a skateboard, a backpack, and a handful of quarters to play his favorite video games from wherever. And I'm just like, yeah, like usually this moment comes in all comedies when they try to put a little drama in it. But like, and then Pauly comes up on his scooter saying, "Hey, what are you doing, Dave?" But I like it when he says, "I'm letting him go," and he's like, "What? I can't handle him anymore." And then fucking Pauly has the best line here. Like, here he says, "Listen, call him back." He says, "I can't take it anymore. Call him back." He says, "I'm serious. Call him back. That's harsh." Okay, we're getting to it in a second. He says, "You're the one who wheezed off his gig the whole time because you thought maybe it gets you somewhere. And now the guy gets a little crusty and you're just going to bag him?" That's not how friends work, man.
You don't bag your friends, exactly.
Because the guy, that actually got the biggest laugh from me the other night. The guy gets a little crusty. He actually really didn't get crusty at all. Like, it was just Dave was the dick the whole time. But it's like they have to work in the plot. It's like dramatic.
This is just like those scenes in, remember the boy and his dog movies too? This is like that scene where the boy takes his dog. He's like, "Oh, I don't want you no more."
Yeah.
And it's all sad. Like, fucking, why they always do that in the movies? Why they always do that? I don't even want you anymore.
Now watch this. Sean Astin bloody Pauly's lip, and Brendan Fraser comes up and grabs him and stops the fight. Watch him take the blood off of Pauly's lip and just rub it on Sean Astin's shirt.
I saw
how many takes do they have to do that with that ketchup ass blood on the shirt? Redo the shirt.
It almost like he just ad-libbed that.
I know. It just looked like he was like, oh, he's bleeding. And he's like, I don't want this shit on my finger.
Chad. That's probably what happened. They were probably like, "Fuck it, we have one take. We don't want to waste a lot of film on this stupid scene that the studio's making. This is basically the dog scene."
Yeah.
Look at that. It looks like they found fucking one of those bird nests in the tree and just put it on his head and then wore it like a hat. Chad.
I mean, we haven't really talked about it yet, but I think this is pretty much the start of, or like breakout of Brendan Fraser's career, right? Because I think either the year before this or this year, I can't remember what the dates were, but I like this too. All of a sudden, Megan Ward, she gets dressed up for the prom, and all of a sudden she's like a complete blonde now. Like if you notice, her hair is like 4 shades lighter.
She is so pretty. She is so pretty. Oh my God! I just want to. Oh God, she's so pretty. Oh my God! I'm fucking trying to sound like. Sometimes I like to. I want to like start frequenting the incel boards and start using their language and appropriating it, and then doing that. That would have been. I never thought to do that, but like I wish I had, because that would have been funny if I could have just broke out into some fucking like deep web lingo that only the incels know, and fucking that would have been awesome. But fucking Megan fucking Ward, what a Stacy,
Complete Stacy.
Fucking good.
Okay, yes. So yeah, this came out in May. School Ties came out the same year in September. But yeah, School Ties, I actually saw it for the first time like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. It's actually a really good movie. And like, but if this was the first thing you ever seen Brendan Fraser in, like, yeah, you would never like know he could actually act. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, that's not really a loser thing either. That Stony and Dave, they get a keg of beer and they sit by the pool because it rained earlier, so there's technically not a pool there. It's just a big thing of mud filled with water, but they just sit out there. Like, I don't know, like a lot of people I know. Oh, look at that football on the ceiling. It says, "Bo, don't I know you?" What a clever joke on the Bo's no marketing campaign. Even the bully, he gets like slapsticky, comic-y, getting in the hammock here. But like most people I know would rather just sit outside all night and drink a keg of beer than go to the prom.
Right here, we're a little out of sync. I think I'm a little bit ahead of you, but I love this right here. All it takes for him to be convinced that not only is Link a caveman, but like fucking like, you know, like all it takes for him to be convinced. Like I would have saw those pictures and thought like, oh, they knew I was gonna break in, and they're is this a hidden camera thing? What's going on? But he sees it and he's just like, whoa, huh? Got him. That's all that time. He was convinced in that short a time that like fucking Link is a caveman that they found in his backyard. I found these pictures. They prove it. I would have just assumed that the pictures were fake. That's so out of the ordinary.
He found Polaroids of a block of ice and then like a dirty Link, basically. But because they had written on them in Sharpie, "Link in ice, Link out of ice," all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just like they had to have known I was gonna break into their house to fucking find out something about Link, and just they set this here to make a joke. It's pretty funny. I can't blame them.
The funniest part of that scene though is how he has the lamp on to like look at the pictures, and there's like that little like handle thing that you like flick the little wheel to turn the lamp off and off, and he grabs it and he goes to do it to start to turn the lamp off, and then he just says "fuck it" and knocks the lamp off the desk.
Chad, we are. This movie just blows by. We are at the fucking third act already. I noticed while watching it that the way the acts work is very oddly structured in this movie, because
it's very off.
Yeah, a lot of like
what you think would be Act 2 is like still like fucking. It's so crazy because a lot of the movie is just like fucking. Let's just put them in all these different scenarios. And we were joking about the movie. It basically is a bunch of montages that one after another, basically.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of filler, like, early on. Like, there's a lot of good shit they could be getting to and they don't get to. And it's, like, the plot doesn't matter for, like, a good chunk of the movie. And then all of a sudden, there's, like, 12 minutes left and, like, the plot matters all of a sudden again. Did you notice that?
It is, yeah. It's basically very weird. But I love basically he comes out, he's like, "Look at this motherfucker's taking you for a ride. We deserve to know. Do you want to know who he really is? He's a caveman." And they're just like, okay. See, I think this movie, if anything, this movie was woke way back then. Because look, they just found out that this guy is different and they accept him. That's fucking weird. Woke shit in our Disney movies.
It's hilarious, too, because when they play that, when he finds the pictures of Link, you think, oh, shit, it's going to get, like, exposed. It's really going to... He tells the world, and the world's like, that's awesome. And then he keeps screaming, no, but you have to understand. Oh.
I'm just joking, by the way. It's not very after-school special where they're just like, oh, we accept him as caveman. I think they just don't believe it. They're just like, that's stupid. Shut the fuck up. But
like,
Megan
who would
Ward,
believe it?
Megan Ward sees the pictures, and okay.
Oh, it's like she just realized she actually accidentally just slept with a donkey or something, the look on her face, you know what I mean?
So then that's when she decides, I don't want to fuck Link anymore, I'll settle for Dave. Mm-hmm. Even though she could settle for anybody else at the school. It didn't seem like... She did have fun with Dave. I would have probably settled for Pauly before Dave, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Which, by the way, did you notice who's the band playing the high school prom?
Yeah.
It's Infectious Cruise, the side project from the guys from Suicidal Tendencies. So you have Psycho Mike Muir, the guy who only wanted a Pepsi. Exactly. They could have worked that joke in where somebody hands them a Pepsi.
The fact they didn't makes me hate this movie now. This movie is now a 3 out of 10. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think I finally uncovered why this doesn't have a Blu-ray and why it doesn't, why it's never going to stream on Disney Plus. There's that scene right here when the bully was exposing earlier, and they go up or Link goes right up in his face, and he says, "What are you doing, you F?"
He does.
He calls him a gay slur. So Disney Plus could never show this movie ever again.
It comes out of nowhere too. Fucking, I always forget it's there.
Well, you know,
it's like the 90s.
Yeah, well, it's also the 90s, but it's kind of funny too because like I just, that's like kind of a common word in movies of this time period. But when you watch this movie, you don't really ever feel like he's that bad of a bully. So just the fact that he's kind of like a cartoon bully, and then he says it, like that's what makes it harsh. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What if that was projection? What if he realized right then that like fucking Link has a cock and it looks good in those shorts, and then Link fucking started doing the kung fu shit, and he's like fucking I can't think that, and then he lashed out. He called him the worst word you can think of. Fucking I think he just fucking Link is just that big of a Chad. I think fucking Megan Ward though.
I know. During that one shot of like the whole party going on, the party goes back to Dave's house. There's like a guy. Well, it's supposed to be Link, but there's a guy running around like the edge of the pool, and he's so spazzy looking. It had to be a double because it was like such a wide shot. It didn't look like Brendan Fraser.
So now they're thinking basically she decides I'm going to settle for you because Link is a caveman. So now they're like fucking. Well, there's a loose end. Like, Link can't go. Like Link doesn't even seem to care that fucking she doesn't. Like he doesn't even seem like he even knew she was ever interested. Like it would be funny if he found out like, oh wait, I could have had sex with that chick, and then he got mad at Dave. But like they're gonna wrap it up really quick, and his cave nug, his cave woman girlfriend
sequel bait
wakes up, and now she's in the. It's a good thing she found her way to the bathtub on her own. Is that what they're implying?
Yeah. She's bathing by her own.
Or wait, no, because he goes, "I found your cave nug." So I think they're implying that like he found her earlier, and like he brought him to meet, but like very Chad.
But I don't know, because earlier when Link left his handprints on the glass, like her boob prints are on the glass, and like they looked all surprised to see him. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, and then they put Buddy.
Yeah, the end, buddy. It's like the movie doesn't have a real end. And look at Stony, I'll be back. No, you won't.
It's like, well, technically he was back in Son-in-Law.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't Stony. He was Crawl in that one.
Yeah. I think they were just implying that, like, fuck, this is just the beginning of the one Pauly Shore, that he's going to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
He kind of was at the time. He was blowing up. And nobody saw the fucking downfall coming.
In the credits for this, and I want to see if I can track down a copy of it if it's not, like, super expensive or rare, but there's a tie-in, like, merchandise book that you can buy with this movie called Stoney's Encino Man Notebook.
Exactly.
I wonder what that is.
You think they really had Pauly Shore write it, or just some fucking...
Oh, just some, yeah.
It's totally some fucking guy to see.
Because I remember I bought a Beavis and Butthead book that was like that. I'm just like, there's no way Mike Judge actually wrote this.
I remember that. I remember reading that shit. Yeah, fucking the Beavis and Butthead movie comes out in 2 days, the new one.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot about it.
And then they're going to put all the original series on there. I'm going to get that shit. I'm going to watch that. Fucking Chad.
Yeah. So, okay, this is something I didn't know till today. Did you know this, Zach? A made-for-television sequel titled Encino Woman aired on April 20th, 1996 on ABC.
Jesus Christ. I did not know that.
I watched some clips of it, dude, and it's about a cave woman, and she just runs around L.A. and then meets a guy named Dave, coincidentally. And then there's, like, a guy with curly hair, not named Stony, some red curly hair, carrot top looking guy.
Some redheaded fuck trying to take our boys.
Yeah, I was trying not to say redheaded fuck. But, so, yeah, it's so terrible. Like, the whole thing is on YouTube. I eventually want to sit down and watch the whole thing, but it's so low budget. Like, it looks like, literally, like, some people just... Like, you know those, like, shot-on-video movies of the 90s?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it literally looks like from the director of Video Violence or something. It's so cheap. And apparently ABC, Disney, it was like, I forget how they phrased it. I don't know if it was Wonderful World of Disney or what, but they aired it, like, one time and then buried it. Like, they refused to acknowledge that it... whatever, but we do have to talk about the fake Link cameo. So Link, again played by Fraser, makes a cameo appearance in the film Son-in-Law. So Link really is in Son-in-Law, but Pauly Shore is not Stony. Fraser also briefly appears as a soldier with the name Link on his fatigues and in the army now. So are we really supposed to believe? And they totally could have did the Marvel Cinema Universe bullshit back then because Disney owned all these movies. They could have had just Link show up if they wanted to.
That would have been the fucking big concrete cock shit to do. Whenever you said, speaking of the fake Link cameo in Son-in-Law, I literally thought you were going to lay it on me that was a fucking Brendan Fraser lookalike. I was like, holy shit.
No.
I was like, I didn't even know that. Holy shit. That was so
we
good.
never got the real sequel. I mean, I don't consider Encino Woman a sequel to this. It was just basically a made-for-TV remake because it didn't have the same characters. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, so like, what do you? I mean, I feel like they baited it hard. I mean, I guess it's just a happy ending thing at the end that Link gets his girlfriend back or whatever. But they totally kind of made it seem like there was going to be a sequel, and like, I think the thing, because let's see, the movie budget $7 million, box office $40 million, and then home video, it probably made a shitload of money too. I think just the obvious thing would be the next movie would be Stony, Dave, Link, and his girlfriend in college, right? Like, how the fuck did they not make that movie?
Yeah. Well, I gotta bring up too that I always felt that the fucking the ending of that movie was so clumsy. I always thought it was.
Oh yeah.
It's so clumsy.
It's like there's no ending. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, because it's like fucking the third act just feels like it just like comes out of nowhere and like, oh, we gotta hurry up and get it over with. It's just like, oh, the cave woman. It's just like fucking just throwing all the cliches. It's just like it's over. Like they didn't know how to end it. That's probably why there was never a sequel. Probably.
Yeah, like that's the, like when I was watching the movie, I was like, for the first half, I'm like, why is this like so slow? Like, because I had watched this a couple years ago on Netflix, but I was like kind of half doing shit. Can't remember what I was doing, but I was like doing some chores and shit. And I was like half watching it, half had it on the background. And like this time when I was like actually sitting down concentrating, I'm like, what? Like, it just didn't have in a lot of parts like the energy that a youthful comedy would have, and it was just like, it was really slow. And then, like, yeah, at about the 50-minute mark, this is only like an 80-something minute movie. It's like all of a sudden, like, it's just, whoa, the movie wraps up. You know what I mean? Like, it's really bizarre.
It is far from a perfect movie. Basically, whether or not it holds up completely depends on, like, what you think about how you react to the Pauly Shore, the Brendan Fraser, like all the fucking, like, the nostalgic behind the movie. What do you think? Do you think the movie holds up?
I mean, I think the movie holds up because there's enough entertainment value to, like, there's enough there to get you to rewatch it every few years and everything like that. But as a movie, it's I hate to say this because it's kind of what endears me to movies of this time period, but at the same time, it's very obvious that it's like, it wasn't really a movie. It was just was some slap together shit. You know what I mean?
It does. It feels very like that, yeah.
Because it's like, and I understand like technology was different back then, but I mean, there are films from that time period that are edited like very well, just as good as anything else today. So it doesn't really make sense why this movie has such weird pacing problems. And like, I get that like it's at the bare minimum. It's like listed as 89 minutes and, you know, take credits out. So it's really about an 85-minute movie. I know they felt if like they would have like kind of trimmed down. I think they just should have like trimmed down, not the montage where they're like cleaning him up, because you need that story wise. I just think they should have really, because what's weird about the what do you call it, the amusement park montage is that it's like there's like no footage for it. It's just them on that roller coaster over and over and over, and it's just like, if you're going to go to a theme park, like you could have just done so many like shenanigans of like Link running through like the arcade or just grabbing food or just doing whatever. And like same when they go to the Cholo bar or whatever, it's like I get there's some story that happens there, but it's like there's so much like padding all throughout the movie, and then all of a sudden it wraps up like you
could even consider like even showing like Link in the beginning, like that was padding. We don't need it. Like fucking. Yeah. I get it establishes it, but like we really don't. Like we could just beat them the same way the main characters do, but they never want to do a movie like that. They always gotta like, fucking we gotta set up the object of the movie right in the beginning and explain why he's there. Fucking, and it doesn't even explain anything. It's like, oh, some rocks fell and now he's frozen in ice. It doesn't make sense.
Well, it's just weird too, because it's like there's a big chunk of the movie where you're like you feel like the movie's going nowhere, but at the same time everything's so easy. Like it should really be hard to get a caveman to be presentable enough that you can pass him off as a high school student. You know what I mean? Like I felt like they should have just done more like comedy of just the three of them working with Link to do stuff. You know what I mean? Like actually invested in some story there, but it's just like
any real story that kind of like. The only real thing that would be hard about that it's all stuff you can't actually talk about in a movie that's designed to be fun. It'd be like serious, like drama type of shit. So yeah, like you're pretty much. I would say, I would give this movie at least a 6. I might give it a 7 on like a really nostalgic day. But like fucking, it's not my favorite Pauly Shore, but I still like it. Fucking
like like I mean I don't know. It's kind of hard because it's like when I was watching it, I'm like, I never really had a harsh reaction to it. Like I saw it in the theater when it came out, but like that was a different time when movies were different. And, like, when I watched it a couple years ago, I didn't really notice how weirdly... to me, it's not even like it's so slow. It's just off, like... I don't know how to... It's just unbalanced. It is.
It's very unbalanced. That's the only reason... Like, if I was just, like, telling you my rating on how much, like, I enjoyed just, like, the scene... Even though I feel like they're, like, fucking unbalanced and not, like, edited the right way, it's just, like... And with how memorable it is, I want to give the movie, like, an 8. But it's just like I feel like it's got like flaws narrative wise that kind of drag it down.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like the individual scenes are great where you want to rate it an 8, but then you see how clumsy of a movie. And we should say it was the director's first movie he directed. So I mean, but it just like it's just I don't know. It's just weird. But I mean, there's so much nostalgic involved in it. So like I would still give it a high rating. Like I personally would probably give it still a 7, but it's like, you know, if you have to go 7.2, 7.3, 7.5, it's just like barely a 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think it's probably like one of those movies where it's like, if you know the movie, if you see, like if I've seen it like enough as I've seen it now recently, if I was going to sit down again like a year from now and watch it, like I would know what parts to get up and go take a piss and grab a drink. You know what I mean?
Hell yes. Basically any scene that Megan Ward isn't on screen. Megan fucking Ward.
Oh yeah, Megan Ward. Like the part where the caveman comes back to life, you just skip that and you just wait for the Megan Ward part.
Exactly.
I don't know if you looked at it lately, but I totally forgot how awesome though the poster is for this movie.
It is.
Yeah, like that's actually something I wouldn't mind having. You know, if I had like a home theater.
We talking about the original theatrical poster where it shows the evolution chart, or the fucking VHS poster where it just shows Pauly Shore standing next to Brendan Fraser in a publicity photo.
Oh no, yeah, that's like the thumbnail of like my digital stream. Yeah, I mean that's got a cool graphic design. I do like that picture, how it has like the mall of Encino, like the little grids of the map or whatever.
That's not just for the DVD. That was the original VHS cover, if I remember right.
Really. It was so unbalanced too, because they don't even put like Dave on there, who's like really the main character of the whole movie.
That's so funny. I wonder what Sean Astin thought. You think he was okay with that?
Like, he was probably cool because he was like, you know, he probably got it. Yeah. And you know, it's kind of funny. Like, I'm looking hard at the theatrical, and I guess it is Brendan Fraser, but it almost looks like it's not Brendan Fraser. It almost looks like a guy dressed like Brendan Fraser on the theatrical. But
so, fucking bootleg Brendan Fraser's coming back. First, I thought he was in Son-in-Law, but he wasn't. But now he's actually. Now you thought he was on fucking. He's a ghost. He's fucking with us.
You know what kind of sucks too? Like, I'm looking at the theatrical credits. It's like, you know, Hollywood Pictures, Encino Man, Sean Astin, Brendan Fraser, Megan Ward, Mariette Hartley, who like Richard Mazer, who I guess those are the parents, and Pauly Shore. It's like, no, the Weasel needs top billing. That was the whole reason why they made the movie, was to get the Weasel into it.
So fucking they can't even be honest with. Yeah. I can't understand that. Fucking it's basically fucking Disney. Basically everything they say
Disney's
about
low T.
Everything people say about fucking the big company, fucking they're owning everything now. Well, fucking they're getting too big. What if they're fucking? We need to break them up. We need to break them up when communism wins. We'll tell them. We'll tell them one day.
Communism has already won. Let's be honest with it.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
But no, like it's weird because like, I mean, like you know, we were talking like it's a mixed bag, but it's at the same time it's just like the premise is so great and the cast is so great. It's just the execution was a little clunky. It's still a must see, I think, for anybody. Like, I would still recommend the movie to anybody big time.
It's quintessential 90s. It's just.
You know, like too, like I remember I saw this movie at a little theater with I think my mom took me and like one or two friends, and like this was probably the most perfect movie to go see with your buddies when you're like 12 or 13 years old. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Let's go watch Brendan Fraser, Pauly Shore, Megan fucking Ward, and then some guy that was on that fucking Goonies movie. Well, let's just watch that and get covered in came and just fucking watch that shit.
Exactly.
Fucking lay down in a pool of our own cum, just fucking chill watching Encino Man. Fucking, I used to ask kids in 5th grade to come over, fucking just watch Encino Man and drown in a pool of our own came. I made a lot of friends that way. It's good shit. This movie brought us together, and I'll cherish that shit. So
Pauly Shore had a song out at the time that he would do it as like it was already out by the time Encino Man came out. It came out like a year before. But I just want to like read the intro and the first, like, you know, before it hits the chorus, and it's like, it's just so freaking Weasel, man. It was on his Pauly Shore, The Future of America CD tape.
Quintessential listening.
Yeah, so it starts out with, like, he kind of just starts out talking. He's like, yo, man, This is a song about a girl, bro, that came out to Hollywood to make it from the farm. She's totally fresh. Maybe she's from Atlanta, the Midwest. You know, she's milked cows, though. She's totally clean. It's called Lisa, the one I adore. And when you hear this song, I just always remember this opening part where he goes, I'm a stony, crusty dude with a mop on top. My melon's fully tweaked, but I'll never stop. So I'm trying to wheeze the nugs from coast to coast. The ones with the cones are the ones I dig the most.
Oh, so, God. He's dropping bars. Bars.
So, like, pretty much, if you watch Encino Man, like, the whole basis of Pauly speak is crusty, stony, melon being tweaked, nugs, and then for boobs he always used cones. But did you notice, like, they had to clean it up for Encino Man? They don't let him say cones for the girl's breasts. All of a sudden, girl's breasts are nugs.
He said it
like,
one time.
He switches it.
He said it one time. He said, I think he said he likes your cones.
Yeah, you're right. I do remember saying that. But when he talks about, like, because Sean Astin, when he's telling him on being greedy at the beginning of the movie, he's like, oh, we get some fundage, and you can wheeze some older nugs by a pool, whatever.
So they decided that Sean Astin saying it made it a fucking PG-13 or an R.
Yeah.
They said if you have fucking Stony say it, it's a PG.
Yeah.
Fucking with their double standards at the MPAA.
Yeah, Let me look at the poster. I can't remember if this was PG or PG-13.
I was gonna bring this up to you at some time too. When communism wins and we win, like, should we just get rid of the fucking MPAA and just say,
oh yeah,
what if we say fucking like, oh, the government is gonna control, and the government is the best thing to control because we guarantee free speech. So right away, fucking, you get to do whatever you want. Fucking, you want to put me having sex with Mac in your movie? Fucking, we'll do it for free, and it'll be rated PG.
Exactly. And it will be the sequel to Lightyear.
Exactly. Fucking, we're big com. It's happening.
Very low T. Yeah, I gotta say, I always had a problem with the MPAA because they cut out all the best parts of the horror movies in the 80s and 90s, which, like, for some reason, all that footage is lost forever. But I think lately, the biggest stupid thing the MPAA did was they shortened their name from the Motion Picture Association of America to the MPA, to the Motion Picture Association. And the reason being is they did not want to be unwelcoming to other countries, and they didn't want to be nationalistic, and they didn't want to be patriotic towards America. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, you don't want to piss off other countries with your ratings, whatever. So what other countries do you do the ratings for? Zero, only for America. So they're the Motion Picture Association now for no reason.
Exactly. Also, too, I thought, it just hit me too. Like, plus, once we're the communist the government, we're controlling the movie, the ratings, then we can start slipping in all of our messages for people to do our bidding too. Like, it works out in our favor both ways.
Exactly.
I'm excited because we're running. I was like, we could do that. We could be those, like, fucking one of those satire fucking the groups that we could run every year. Every year we're allowed.
like those fake things where they just run just to run.
What's that guy? Fucking the guy with the boot on his head.
Vermin, I don't know.
Vermin
I haven't
Supreme.
seen him. Vermin Supreme.
Chad.
Like, I don't know, obviously there's been this groundswell to get a Pauly Shore, like, comeback. I just want to see, like, a movie where he's, like, the middle-aged manager of a Taco Bell, but he's still trying to be, like, the weasel, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What was that fucking, there was a show that was on, like, TBS for, like, one season where it was all about him running the Comedy Store. He was like, because he runs the I manage the Comedy Store. My mom owns it, and I work there.
There was, like, on Showtime, there was a documentary about it, but I don't really remember, like, a show about it on TBS.
I want to say it was on TV. It lasted one season, and I loved Pauly Shore at the time. I was like, fuck it, I wanted to make a comeback. I want fucking Son-in-Law 2, because Pauly Shore's Dead just came out, and I was like, I want that comeback. Fucking wipe it off my mouth, fucking Pauly. And fucking basically, I was just like, I was all excited, and I didn't even watch it. Fucking I forgot it was coming on or something.
I'm a bad fan. I'm a bad fanboy.
He's got so many credits. I'm trying to scroll through to find it. And there's so much crap. Like, Can't even find it.
Fucking, he's still working. He's still working. He's not.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I
still does stand-up. He still does stand-up comedy.
Not in movies is what I mean when I say still working.
Oh yeah. But anyway, I guess that's it. What you got going on BTM, baby?
Fucking, we don't know what we're doing next. Fucking, we like to win, baby. We like to win, baby.
I swear I've said that before when you've asked me that same question.
Because usually I'll get you on to do movies and then I'll find out you already did it. Did you guys already do Encino Man on Behind the Mask?
We did. Fucking.
See, I knew you did. How long ago, baby?
Yeah, that was one of the first ones I think we did. Fucking like within the first year or two.
Like what, 6, 7 years ago?
It was so long
like
ago that it was whenever the show didn't have video, so technically we could do it again. Fucking, because we got video now, we've used that as an excuse to redo movies.
Yeah. Like, you know how sometimes like people, and I've had people do it with me too, and I totally don't mind, but like people will like do your show and then they'll be like, oh, like if you do a commentary, they'll be like, can I like air that later on my show?
Oh,
like
yeah.
I kind of want to do like a BTM like tie-in or like where we do that, like we do a commentary for a movie,
yeah.
And then like literally the same week like that BTM releases it, we release it. Movie Graveyard releases it, but like we don't share like the file, we just record it twice.
Exactly.
do different.
Exactly. That's.
I don't know why. Like, I guess that's just like my stupid thinking, but I always think that would be like the best joke to play.
A lot of people on YouTube do that whenever they're streaming other streamers. I guess it makes sense. Fucking.
Yeah.
Fucking. Most people probably wouldn't even think it's funny. They would just think it's just like that. They just think it's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other severely stupid idea I've always had is I want to do like the movie Graveyard, how we pretty much do a commentary every show. I want to start a new show where we do an audio commentary for a movie, but every single episode is just a commentary for the same movie.
Hell yes.
I think me and Mac mentioned that too. We were like, "Fuck, we should do fucking Three Ninjas commentary every year." Fucking for some reason, even though it's a movie that we love, but then we acknowledge that like once can we all acknowledge as a human race species that fucking like once the burglars are out of the movie's just fucking over. Like nobody cares anymore.
Three Ninjas.
Yeah.
Once those three burglar guys, they're the real Three Ninjas. That's who the movie's about. Like fucking, we thought it was the kids all along, but they're the real reason we showed up.
Isn't there something weird too with Three Ninjas where like they made the sequel first, but then they like shelved it and then shot like a new movie to be the first movie?
Yeah, they made right away after Three Ninjas came out there, they got the original cast. They made a sequel called Three Ninjas Knuckle Up. It's literally like the next year. And it was like, I guess they realized it was such a shitty movie that they were like, we don't want to put this out. We are going to wait because we want to make this a franchise. We think we can really, really milk this. Because they saw dollar signs for the freedom. Like even the first movie put on the cover like fucking Home Alone and Ninja Turtles meets one movie. It's like when you're a kid, you're just like, hell yes. So they were like, they didn't want to put out Knuckle Up second, so they put out. I think it's a good move. I think Three Ninjas Kickback is actually better than the original Three Ninjas, maybe even by a little.
You know what's funny too is they did the same thing with Chuck Norris Missing in Action. They made two movies back to back, part 1 and 2, like on purpose. And then the distributor guy, he was like producer, he was like, but part 2's better. He's like, if we release part 1 first, it will bomb, and then it will be like we won't have a franchise. So let's release part 2. So like those movies came out real close to each other. So like everybody was confused, and they're like, no, the second one's just a prequel. I'm like, no, it was just the first movie.
Well, that should be how we do it all, because like fucking they say the original's always the best. Let's test that. Let's show them the sequel first and see. Like, don't even tell them. We're gonna see if that's true. Fucking liars.
Yeah. So anyway, you have nothing to promote. I love that. I love when somebody comes and they have nothing to promote.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess I could mention that me and Mac, we're officially thinking about changing the name of the show.
From what to what? What is the original name of the show?
Fucking Mac is actually that we're thinking about changing it to Came Gang.
Well, I don't know about you. You kind of blew my mind the other night when I showed you the lifestyle, the Demogorgons, and you said that it was the original covered in cane.
Exactly. Okay. Basically, originally we thought we should be the Covered in Came Gang, but then I was like, "Fucking, let's just shorten it to Came Gang," because then it's completely nobody knows that it means anything dirty. And fucking, it'll just be funnier whenever they find out what we mean when we say it. Yeah. What sucks though is because of how fucking language evolves and memes kind of become a new thing. I can see it retroactively kind of biting us in the ass. Like, oh, that's dirty. Came. Yeah. I just gotta hope that other people don't just start saying I'm gonna came and shit like that. Hopefully enough people don't listen to us and pick up on it.
Yeah. So the first Pauly Shore movie we covered was Biodome, and it was a huge hit. Way more, pretty much triple the downloads of what a normal episode we get. What do you think we're going to do with this one? Is it going to be probably quadruple the downloads of the other episodes?
I think we're about to wake up a sleeping giant. All the Pauly heads have been fucking sleeping. They've been waiting for us to fucking come out with the next Pauly Kino Cuisino, and they are chomping at the bit. I think fucking this is gonna break the internet, as they say. It's gonna be like the Kim Kardashian ass pic or whatever that was.
The one where she put the bottle of champagne on her ass like a shelf, and then it shot the cork up over her head.
Fucking by magic. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. I think you're right. I think we're definitely gonna break the internet with this. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for listening. As always, Zach, thanks for bringing your vast wealth of Pauly Shore knowledge.
Exactly.
And wisdom. Until next time, we'll see you again soon in the movie graveyard.
Dog.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. Dog. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Yo, what's up with Dollar Shave Club, bro?
It's the best. They send you razor.
I want to know why razors are expensive. Why do you think they're expensive? Because razors what?
They have all this unnecessary technology like vibrating handles, 19 blades, a laser pointer, a
compass, thermometer, all these back scratchers. You don't need any of that, right?
I don't need any of that. What I need is a good razor blade. Where can I get one?
That's what Dollar Shave Club is, bro. I was sick of paying for those nose gray shave. That's why I made the switch to what?
DollarShaveClub.com, and you want to make sure you go on DollarShaveClub.com/Shore. Make sure you get a great deal on some great razor blades.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's and they deliver them right to your place, right, with grooming supplies.
They give you a free handle, and they mail out the razors every month.
Yeah, it just shows up because you always got to shave, dude. Shaving is important because if you shave, you look good for the what?
Ladies, bro.
The ladies, bros. So stop squeezing weeks out of the shave of a full, dull razor and start treating yourself with a fresh blade. Shave anytime you want. Believe me when I tell you it's what? DollarShaveClub.com/Shore. That's DollarShaveClub.com/Shore, so you can get the discount. Yeah, and the blades are fantastic. Okay, so just upgrade to a smarter way to shave, right? And like Jesus said, you don't need to deal with all that stuff. Just go to DollarShaveClub.com/Shore.
Yeah, stop being cheap and squeezing extra weeks out of your razor blade. Just get them delivered every month, every other month. That's DollarShaveClub.com/Shore.
Thanks, bro. Say something in Espanol.
Hey, get razor blados.
No, in Espanol. Because there's a lot of Spanish people that need to shave too, bro.
That's right. And some Jewish people too.
Whoa,
it works out.
Whoa.
Resúrate.
Later.